So it is 7:30 p.m. and I just woke up. You have full permission to roast my schedule in the comments. Please make me get better. Anyway, today's story is a crazy one, an interesting one. All in all, just one that I can't believe is a thing. So I hope you enjoy it, and I've been waiting to tell this for a while, so I'm excited to be telling this one finally. Today's story time is a story that takes place back in 2015. Now, in 2015, I was 16 years old, about to turn 17. It was the summer. All of my friends were off school. I'm pretty sure at this point I had dropped out. I can't remember exactly what month it was, but I'm pretty sure I was dropped out at this point. And I was just enjoying my summer with my friends, right? And I had this friend. Let's just call this friend Brandon, okay? Brandon was someone I've been friends with for a long time. I'd known him since I was 9 years old. I still am friends with Brandon to this day. And the thing about Brandon is Brandon loved to smoke. Smoked weed, smoked cigarettes. And another funny thing about Brandon is his dad was one of like the higher up police officers of the town. Like straight up one of like the top of the top police officers. Like he was busting people all the time, arresting people all the time. The dude was a full-blown police officer, so that's what he does. But like it was really hard to smoke with Brandon and have fun and hang out with Brandon because his dad was a fucking cop and we were always looking over our shoulder, paranoid as hell. So one day Brandon hits me up in the summer of 2015. It was a Friday afternoon and I get a text from Brandon while I'm on my computer working on a video. And the text says, "Yo, man, I'm having a party tonight. Obviously, you're invited. Bring whoever you want. Probably going to be like 30 or 40 people there. Going to be a big bonfire. It's going to be a lot of fun. Please come through." To which I replied, I'm like, "Yeah, dude, don't have to ask twice. Like, I'm going to be there." I then asked him if he wanted me to bring anything, and he replied with one word. He just said, "Weed." So I was like, "Okay, man, I got you." So I went to my friend's house, who was kind of my plug at the time. I bought like an eighth worth. At the time, that was a lot for me. You know, I wasn't about to bring a whole ounce to a party. I didn't have the money to do that. But yeah, I bought this eighth, and a few hours later, I pulled up to Brandon's house, and I had it with me, and I showed him. And he's like, "Yo, man, like, you went above and beyond. Thank you." And he matched it. He had an eighth as well. And a couple other people from our friend group brought some as well. So there was definitely quite a bit of weed circulating the party, and people were smoking a lot. And I asked Brandon, I was like, "Yo, where's your dad at?" Because usually his dad would come home, you know, early in the night and go to bed pretty early. So I was confused where he was. And he's like, "Oh, he's with my mom. They're on some like getaway for the night. They're at some hotel. I think it's their anniversary or some shit. I don't know. All I know is I'm about to have a good ass night." I'm like, "Yeah, man, I feel that." So fast forward a couple hours, a lot of people ended up showing up. I think it was like 40 people total, maybe even more. A lot for people our age. I don't know, 16-year-old having a party, 40 people showing up. That's kind of crazy. Like, it's not like you're 18, 19 and like, you know, are legally an adult and can like, you know, do whatever you want. Like, you have to ask for permission when you're 16 and like get a ride there. Sometimes if you don't have a car, like, you know, it's just a lot more difficult to get people to show up to parties when you're younger, I feel like. So anyway, a lot of people end up showing up. The party goes very smoothly. The party was a lot of fun. And then the next day rolls around. I wake up on Brandon's couch. I spent the night there. I woke up feeling very, very dehydrated. I had a headache, felt like shit. You could probably guess why. And I stand up, I go in the bathroom, I wash my face. And as I'm washing my face, I hear someone open the front door. And I hear Brandon's dad go, "Brandon, we're home." And I go, fuck, his parents are back. And in my head, I'm just hoping that the house is clean. I don't know if Brandon cleaned before he went to bed. I don't know if he woke up early and cleaned. All I know is that if Brandon didn't clean, the backyard was absolutely trashed, and so was most of the house. I woke up in the living room. No one was really in the living room, so it wasn't that bad in there, but I didn't know about the rest of the house. And then while I'm in there washing my face, I hear his dad scream. Literally, he goes, "What the fuck happened here?" So I open the door, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Brandon's dad?" And he's like, "Austin, what are you doing here?" I was like, "Oh, I spent the night." He goes, "Yeah? Did you have something to do with this?" And he points to the kitchen, and it's absolutely trashed, and there's like Pong cups all over the table. And I'm like, yeah, there were some friends that came over last night. I wasn't really playing Pong or anything. I was just on the couch mostly." And he's like, "Huh, really?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Feeling okay? You look a little hungover." I was like, "No, I'm not." And that was maybe a lie. And he's like, "Really? You're not high or anything either?" I was like, "Nope, I'm not." That was true. And then he walks around the kitchen a little bit more, and he picks up a roach off the table, the kitchen table, like a half-smoked joint. And he goes, what the fuck is on my table? And his mom's just sitting there in silence, like watching all this happen. And I go, I think that's a cigarette. He goes, no. This is not a cigarette. You know exactly what this is, Austin. Don't bullshit me. And I was like, listen, I promise you it's not mine. And he goes, you know what? Why am I even talking to you? Brandon, get the fuck down here. And like 2 minutes later, Brandon comes stumbling down the stairs, looking the same way I did when I woke up. And he's like, oh, Dad, like you're home. Sorry, I meant to clean. And he goes, you meant to clean? You meant to fucking clean? How about clean right now or I don't ground you for 2 months? Even better, how about I arrest my own son? And I'm like, shit, man, he's not fucking around. That's all I could think about in my head. And Brandon starts cleaning. I help him start cleaning as well. And then while I'm cleaning, all I can think in my head is like, damn it, why didn't I just go home? Like I had multiple chances last night to just go home. I could have like gone a ride with someone. I could have walked home. I only live like a couple miles away. Like, why didn't I just go home? I would have completely avoided all of this. But I was already in too deep. I was like the only person that spent the night, so I was in too deep to begin with. So anyway, I'm helping Brandon clean in the kitchen. And about 30 minutes into cleaning, Brandon's dad walks up to us and he goes, guys, come with me. And he starts walking us upstairs to his bedroom. And me and Brandon are just looking at each other like scared. And we get up to his dad's bedroom and he walks us in there. He sits us down on the bed and he's like, all right, listen, I want to talk to you guys about something. Didn't know when we'd be having this talk, but I'm glad we're having it now. I feel like you guys are old enough. Listen, I don't care if you guys smoke pot. I really don't. But don't leave it on my fucking table. Don't leave it in my house. Don't leave it anywhere. I'm a police officer, and if one of my friends sees it or anybody that knows me, I'm screwed. So don't leave it anywhere. If you guys are going to throw a party, whether it's here or anywhere else, hide that shit better next time, okay? And number 2, if you're going to be getting it from anyone, make sure you're getting it from someone you trust. And he reaches under his bed and pulls out a shoebox and opens it. And there is just a large amount of weed in there. And he pulls out a bag and hands it to me and Brandon and goes, there you guys go. You didn't get it from me. And me and Brandon just look at each other. We honestly thought it was a test. We literally thought it was a joke and he was testing us. And Brandon goes, no, you can have it back. And Brandon's dad goes, oh, what, you don't smoke now? All of a sudden you're sober? I don't think so. Come on, don't bullshit me. I know you guys are going to keep doing it. Just make sure you're getting it from someone you trust, okay? If that has to be me, fine. But don't say you got it from me. I'd rather help you guys out than have you buy it from some sketchy guy who's going to hurt you at night or try and rob you or, you know, have it laced with something. I don't know. I just prefer this way of all ways. And I'm like, wait, are you saying that like you want us to come to you to get weed? Is that what I'm hearing? He goes, whatever way you want to spin it, yeah, fine. Just don't tell anyone, okay? So Brandon's dad gave us this weed and we leave his room and we clean the rest of the house. And I still couldn't believe it. So later that night, before I left the house, I walked up to his dad again. I was like, hey, once again, are you sure you want to like get us weed and stuff? Like, where are you even getting it from? He's like, I grow it, okay? In the woods in the backyard, I grow it. Don't tell anybody. You and my wife are the only people that know. Even Brandon doesn't. So don't tell him either, because I don't want him raiding it. If you guys just behave and you be a little bit more cautious about where and when you're doing it, yeah, we can keep this a regular thing. I still couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, so you're not kidding. He goes, Austin, I'm going to change my mind if you don't stop asking me that. So yeah, he gave us free weed. That lasted us about a week. And then from that point forward, we would just give him like 20, 40 bucks at a time maybe. And he'd just hook us up from this weed he would grow in his backyard every summer. Now in the winter, he wouldn't have it anymore. So we'd have to, find other people. But in the summer, he would just hook us up for like 2 years straight. And I think that officially ranks Brandon's dad as the coolest cop I've ever had an encounter with. I've had a lot of cool cops, a lot of shitty cops, but Brandon's dad has to be number 1. Dude's the fucking GOAT. Like, it's not every day where you get caught throwing a party and the person's parents reward you. Like, that's just so crazy. I mean, we did clean all fucking day and pretty much into the night and made everything spotless, but still, like, not usually the kind of reward you get. But yeah, I've been waiting to tell this story for a long time. I thought it was a crazy one and a fucking just ridiculously funny and insane one. I don't know what words to describe this. But yeah, in the end, everything was good. And Brandon's dad earned a newfound coolness for me. Moral of this story is, don't do any of the things I talked about in this story time. It's for entertainment purposes only. You know the drill. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all later. Peace.
I'm damaged, I cannot plan this. Won't you be mine tonight?